finally over and peace is achieved. It's been incredible that we beat Iran dozens of times and nearly made peace almost 40 times. It's only cost upwards of $50 billion, probably more, part of which was spent bombing a children's school, by the way. And now hundreds of billions more will be spent to build more weapons to replace all the weapons and ammunition that we used in the Iran war that's not a war. Americans should be grateful to have spent so much of their own money on high gas prices and inflation caused by the war that is not a war that we won dozens of times and almost have had a peace deal for the 40th time. We'll see if that happens on Friday. The noble purpose of this war that is not a war was to free the Iranian people who have not been freed from a regime that needed change and still remains in place. And most importantly of all things is Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. So that is why we will most likely not be removing the enriched uranium from the facilities buried deep underground that we bombed before and Iran rebuilt because we bombed them again and it's too hard to reach, even though we are the best and the only ones who can do it. And the world should be thankful that because this peace deal is almost done for the 40th time, the Strait of Hormuz will now be reopened, just as it was open before the war that is not a war. Most importantly, there will be a $300 billion Iran rebuilding fund, even though they said there wasn't, but there's going to be, that certain super duper special people can donate to and most likely be awarded contracts so they can become even richer and more elite than they already are, all to make Iran great again after we bombed them in the war that is not a war. All of this would never be possible without the peace president, whom established the Board of Peace and appointed himself the head of the board without term limits right before he waged the Iran war that is not a war. Now that he is on the verge of securing peace for the 40th time after defeating Iran dozens of times, he must be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. His MAGA influencers will demand it. And of course, special mention must be made for our greatest ally who never wants peace, continues bombing children daily, and is furious that there is now almost a peace deal. Thankfully, their fury at Trump's audacity to almost make peace is being made known to the American people by their highly funded and most loyal foreign agents. Supporters and paid social media personalities and Fox News hosts. And even though they now vigorously criticize the president and disagree with him, they are not called traitors because you only get called a traitor if you go against him on the Epstein files. Because really, they are all totally okay with rapists and pedophiles. But alas, our good friend and greatest ally should not be too upset, as they are soon to be rewarded with a gift far greater than the nuclear material they stole from our country years ago. Our very own elected leaders in Congress are going to fuse our own military intelligence and tech with theirs and throw in lots of other goodies that the American people will never be able to undo and do not support in the first place, even though they're going to pay for it all. This will surely enable our greatest ally to be even more lethal than it already is, as it kills countless innocent children and innocent people, imprisons them, and rapes and tortures its prisoners, all with a free pass because AIPAC donations steadily flow, and Genesis says that you will be cursed if you do not go along with everything they do, even though Genesis wasn't really talking about our greatest ally. In conclusion, congratulations to all for almost achieving peace to the war that is not a war, spending hundreds of billions of U.S. tax dollars again for another foreign war after we voted no. Special mention goes to the real insiders who have gamed the market with massive profits from inside information, and shout out to the friends and family landing those highly coveted government contracts. This apparently is what winning looks like.